In today's episode, James is going to discuss his wobbly bits. Yeah, run titles.
And whether you think it's a good idea or whether you think it's bad, these are just ideas of James.
So, James, you've obviously had lots of ideas, but what would you say is your worst one? I once thought it would be a good idea to leave the hood of my jacket down in the rain. Now, it turns out that was not a good idea. Unfortunately, the rain came on quite heavily, and my hood ended up filling with water. But, of course, I didn't realise this. So, by the time I got to the tube station, I had unknowingly brought a large open container of water on board.
Oh, no, why?
And suffice to say, it sloshed everywhere as the train started and stopped, much to the annoyance of, well, everyone. Wouldn't recommend it. So that's actually true. Yeah, unfortunately that did happen. Yeah, but what about on your channel though? Well, I actually think the ideas on the channel are all okay. The bad ones, I suppose the bad ones don't really make it to air. Really, James. All right, so I'll tell you what. Give us an example of an idea that hasn't made it to the channel. There's a few of them. I suppose the one that comes to mind was how to stop all wobbly tables and chairs. That sounds like a good idea. Yes. Well, all bad ideas are just good ideas that don't work. So, however, with this idea, I found that although yes, it had potential, it did come with other issues. Yeah, so the solution to wobbly furniture I first heard being used by dairy farmers who used a thing called a milking stool. And when they went to go and milk their cattle, they would take a stool with them. So this was back in the day when all cows were free range and there would be a lot of uneven ground, so their stools, tended to be wobbly. So a milking stool was used, which had 3 legs, and that essentially made a tripod, which, as we know, are not wobbly. Can we get someone to confirm that? The idea was to make all furniture have 3 legs, and then we could say goodbye to wobbles. However, I found that square tables with 3 legs can tip more easily. So to counteract that, you have to make the tables heavier. But I didn't really think that was a great solution. So what I thought was then you could have triangular shaped tables, and that would solve the stability issues. But then you lack kind of the tabletop space. The idea was almost right, but it just kind of falls short. I considered maybe having more legs or fewer legs, but I think the ideal number of legs seems to be about between 3 and 4. So if we can do 3.5, that'd be good. Oh, what about an office chair? It has 5 legs. Yes. So I suppose that's true. They do. Although interesting, do you know who invented the office chair? No, I don't. It was Charles Darwin. What? The Origin of Species guy? Yep. He invented the first office chair. He basically put wheels in the bottom of his regular chair, and we wouldn't have office chairs if it weren't for him. Oh, mate, you've just blown my mind. Well, ultimately, this episode was just an idea from the reject bin. However, I did like the story at the beginning, and I still learned something, so I guess I'm going to give this episode 5 out of 10.